Happy Sunday, everyone. We are in the fullness of the heat at Chez Moi. It's Saturday, July 23rd. It's 11:30 in the morning. It's already 87 degrees with a heat index of 96. We're at 70% humidity, and this is just perfect. This is my time of year. Behind me, there are some new neighbors moving in, but we're going to ignore those and look at what's going on. I'll probably do another harvest video today because I've got lots of stuff ripe and in need of trimming. I took off the top of the avocado, and that seems to have been the thing to do because now I've got 3 new shoots coming up to get it to branch. I don't know, I might need to clip it down a little more. We'll see how it goes. This is one of the suckers. I pulled off the healthiest looking tomato. It's going to be giving me some new tomatoes in a couple of weeks, which is perfect because the other ones are starting to punk out. Again, it just came with black spot. The rain is tapering off. It's a little wet now because I've been put the watering back on. Now, all of my squash are doing pretty well. You see there's a little baby zucchini in there. I'll have that one tomorrow or the next day. I've gotten at least 2 or 3 off all of them, but I've also gotten squash vine borers from all of them. And really, the only thing it seems that I should be able to do is just dig them out and put some more dirt over the top and let them build new roots. So, next year, all of my squash are going in pots, probably on the concrete where the tomatoes are now. We'll move along. Maybe over here, sunflowers, yay. Anyway, squash are all going in pots, and I'm going to bury them a lot deeper and give room and just acknowledge that the vine borers are coming. I haven't been very diligent about harvesting my nasturtium seeds, plants, leaves, or flowers, which I feel bad about, but they're pretty, so it's okay. I did trim the parsley in there with them, and we made a double batch of tabbouleh that was delicious. Let's see what's going on here. This is the only one that didn't really have a vine borer problem. And we've got a couple of... It sets a lot of fruits, but I think many of them fall off. I think that's a spider mite issue there. But I'm happy to sacrifice that plant, to be perfectly honest. Oh, we're getting the first of the ripe habaneros. I want to make some pepper jelly or something. And we've got some lovely... See, here's part of my problem. We're going to squish you. When the chickens get a little older, I will make them a salad. But that's one of the things I'm going to do today. I want to do a hive inspection. I want to just kind of look for pests. Because I've also had those beetles on my squash. These cocozelles are some of my favorite. They're really tasty. They're kind of sweet. They're really delicious, so I hope we get lots of those. But we're going to check all the squash for pests. I like that it's setting new leaves down here. I'd like to be able to transfer some of these marigolds out. They're crowding each other, especially these big ones. Because they could go over there where there's some free space amongst the cucumbers and eggplant. I have never had such a bumper crop of lemons. Let's see, it's July now, so I expect these to be ready September, October. And hopefully there'll be some, oh look, pretty little leaf hopper. That's a big one. But I hope that it'll start blossoming again soon when we get out of the heat. Olive tree, it's putting out new leaves. We'll see. Here's my impatiens. I'm not going to attempt to set any more roots right now because they're really struggling with this heat. Look how yellow they are. I had to take them out of their pots because they were just getting waterlogged soil. They still haven't dried out. I think I'm going to set my waterer for every day instead of every 12 hours. Though the ones that I'm trying to fill in the bottoms are obliging. I may need to trim them just to kind of conserve their water usage. All right. Marigolds, we mentioned that the tomatoes are punking out, and now the fruits are getting kind of unripe. It's getting a little gross. But again, just really proud of my tongue garden. So pretty. I'm finally starting to get some color on my bell peppers. Definitely time to trim the basil again. I want to plant a butt-ton more basil. Oh, look at these okra. I'm really happy with this variety. It seems to be largely unbothered by the aphids. Can you see the ants farming the aphids on it? Doesn't seem to be bothered by that. Still produces lots of flowers. I've gotten 4 pods so far that are really tasty, and I'm happy they're not spiny and they're not that mucilaginous, so they make really good Indian bindi fries. And it looks like I've got at least 2 more, maybe 3 more I could get today, and maybe I could have a whole full serving by the end of the week. These jalapenos are probably ready to go. This wax pepper over here gives a lot. We could do some more sage and brown butter. That's just from this one plot. And the plot behind me got a couple more habaneros. I hope that those eggplant recover and get going in time to actually give us some eggplant for the summer. I believe there's some squash over here in the works. You have any baby squash? This one was really hit hard by vine borer. I've had to go in a couple of times. Yeah, there's a yellow one. There's another yellow one. This one sets a lot of yellow ones, but they don't really come to fruition. I'm not sure what the problem is. That one looks like it may be gone. So I think I'll plant a lot more okra next year, and oh, look at that pepper. That pepper might be ready in a couple of days. And just really jalapenos and bell peppers, because that's the only ones, maybe a habanero or 2. I need to expand into some different fruits and vegetables. Alright, so again, we're going to look at my tongue garden, because I love this walkway. I'm very proud of my curb appeal. You hear the cicadas going all the way up, and it's my purple and white. Here, we're going to let him go around. My purple and white varietal of the impatiens is blooming again. Here, we're going to come way far around. So I think I might make an exception to this one and put some of those in the green room. But look at the proliferation of these. I don't think they're supposed to get that tall, like a foot tall. Alright. Oh, because we were getting really crappy TV reception, you might notice I took down a bunch of trees, and so the path to the side yard is a lot clearer. Again, I'm not going to go up there now until I've really had a chance to do something. But I really love that tree. I feel like something should be put in that tree. Wouldn't that be the most awesomest treehouse tree? You could have like a tri-level treehouse in that tree. I'm saying tree a lot, aren't I? Okay. Anyway. So, this is looking nice, the side garden and the wall. For my birthday, I think I'm going to make my family paint some gnomes. Do some crafts projects for me, because I really want to fill this out with just personal stuff, because it's never going to bear fruit, so it might as well be pretty, right? The summer bulbs seem to have been a bust. I don't see any flowers. I got like 7 fronds, and they all died. I think they might have rotted from all the rain. JR had a great idea. All these trees, or tree limbs that came down, chop them up and put them down by the fire pit. And then come this fall, we'll have ready-made kindling. I think it's brilliant. So that is my second main goal for today. Remember we took cuttings off this camellia because it has a pretty white flower. Well, I'm still waiting for the apples to ripen. I tied a little pantyhose around there, a yellow string, so I could find it. Because when those apples start to fall, I'm going to see if I can't plant them. This tree doesn't make camellia apples. I do not know why. But, okay. Here's my experimental impatiens. If we recall, the ones that are trimmed on the ground were heavily trimmed 2-3 weeks ago and just watered by nature and me occasionally with a can, and that seems to be the way to go. Because when I put the Job's sticks in there, most of them are not doing so well, especially the one on the end. I'm So proud of this fern. That's a rescue fern. One of the things I kind of want to do today is actually plant these impatiens, because each of them has 2 per. So I could put 6 in here and free up those pots. And I want to plant some basil to get us through the winter months. This fern that I also rescued is doing really well. The hostas, well, I got some new growth going. We'll get really close. But I think something is cropping it. Do rabbits like hostas? I don't know. So last week, I was all prepared to redo the run and the coop. But actually, since I took the food and the water out pretty early and stirred the bedding up inside, nothing seems to want to live in there except spiders, so that's good. Speaking of spiders, there's been this spider that's been building between this tree, so I want to scan before I go around. There we go. So every day I just kind of make sure that, let's see if we can get in tighter. See that mound? That mound in the doorway is still there? And if that mound is there and I don't see any fresh bedding on the ground, which I don't see any fresh bedding, it's all wet, then I know nothing's really been in there. So, and abandoned is fine. Here's my bees, 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 bees. So, let's see. Let me go around, because they're facing into the sun. I gotta duck down so I don't get smacked in the head by bees. Alright, here we go. There we go. So, Luthion's entrance, she's doing really well. Lilith is doing okay. I mean, she's always got bees. I can see from here that they've got some pollen coming in. And again, you know, even though if you're in an agricultural area, bees might be experiencing the dearth now this late in the summer, but Atlanta, there's lots of stuff blooming. There's lots of stuff blooming just in my yard. So my neighbor behind me has a full garden. There's plenty of stuff coming in. So, the main goal for today is sugar shakes for Luthien and Galadriel and Lilith. If I can find Lilith's queen, and I have seen good brood in Luthien and or Galadriel, I'm going to pinch the Lilith queen, and I'm going to let her raise some. Because we should have plenty of drones, there's plenty of forage, she should get well mated, she should start laying before the fall, and even if she doesn't, I should still have time to order another queen. Or, you know, maybe I just go into the winter with 2 hives and consolidate them down. But she just really doesn't seem to be doing as well as the other 2. So, number 1 priority today, hive inspection. Number 2, garden pest inspection. And number 3, chop up the wood. But that is not all for our video today. In fact, let me see. Okay, I've got to look where I'm going, so the video may be a little weird. So I go around the hives, behind the hives. Try not to walk into too many spider webs. Whoa, or fall into too many holes. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, everything's looking untouched under there. Okay. See lots of spider webs, cobwebs. I've looked in here, even the roaches aren't really making it a home. But we do have something new at Chez Moi. Oh, the last thing, I guess, is we haven't seen the stack of pallets, but I have some leftover kitchen chairs and a bunch of pallets. And you see my leftover shredded paper. I need to make some furniture out of this soon. I've still got about this much more under the garage, or under the sunroom. But here in my green room, we have chicks. Chicks. All 6 of them look like they're going to be okay. I got them Wednesday, so they are about 4 days old. They have pretty distinctive markings. I've got 2 Australorps, those are the black ones. I've got 2 Easter eggers, which are standing right next to each other. There's the one with the yellowish face and the speckled back. And I've got 2 Welsumers. So I should have pretty light brown, dark brown, perhaps with speckles, and green, probably green to olive, because all my other Easter eggers have been that. So, sometime around mid-January, I should have fresh eggs again. But this time, I got the dog crate out, put some cardboard around it till they're too big to fit through the slits. And they all seem to be doing well. The Australorps both had a little bit of pasty butt, but I wiped it off and they seem pretty feisty now. So I'll try to do this at least weekly for a while we have the chickens. I don't know if I'm going to post their unpacking because I let my son use the camera and he pointed it straight at my butt. So it's like, here's a chicken, here's my butt, here's a chicken. So maybe if I can edit that out. But they all have, they're getting personalities, so we'll have to think of names soon. Perhaps that'll be the next video and an introduction to the chicks. Alright, so I better get cracking. Au revoir from chez moi.